morning students. Now we will start a new chapter of class 10th, that is chapter name is light. Chapter name is light. Okay. In this chapter we will study only two parts. One is reflection, another one is refraction of light. Okay. Before we start the chapter, can anyone say what is light? I think I hope you can see in daytimes, but in night time you may see the object with the help of light. Okay, but in night time, if I switch off the lights, can you see the objects? That means you have already studied in lower class that light is a form of energy. Okay, which helps to see the various objects. Okay? But in class 10, we study or define or modify the term what is light. Light is a part of, what is light? Light is a part of electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, light is a part of electromagnetic spectrum which helps to see various objects. Okay. Now my question is, sir, why light is an electromagnetic spectrum, not a mechanical spectrum? Means why light is an electromagnetic wave, not a mechanical wave? Okay. Mechanical wave means it requires a medium. When it requires a medium, that is known as a mechanical wave. But here light can propagate in both solid, liquid, gas, and vacuum. It does not require medium. As light does not require a medium, so light is called electromagnetic spectrum. Is it clear why light is electromagnetic spectrum? Now there are different type of electromagnetic spectrum. First spectrum name is gamma rays. Are you listening to it? That is one is gamma rays. Second one is X rays. Another one is UV rays. Okay. Then heat wave. Then infrared. Okay. Microwave. Then radio wave. Okay. Microwave and radio. These are the wavelength increases. This is the ascending order of wavelength. That means when it goes from, if we compare gamma rays and X rays, UV rays, different type of rays, which spectrum has highest wavelength? The highest wavelength is radio wave, then microwave, then infrared, then wave. These are the 7 types of spectrum. But out of the 7, we can see only one part we can see in our naked eye, that is wave here. As we can see this in naked eyes, that means that's why we study in chapter in class 10 only wave here, that is ray optics. That's mean the chapter name is ray optics. Ray optics means it is the branch of science related to the study of light. Okay, that's why if these rays we cannot see in naked eyes. Gamma rays, X-ray, UV ray, infrared, we cannot see in naked eyes, but we can see this object in naked eye. That's why in class 10 we will study only ray optics. Basically there are two types of optics. One is ray optics, another is wave optics. Okay, ray optics and wave optics. In ray optics we study the object having the dimension like mirror and lens. These are the things we study in ray optics. But if you study the wave optics, that is the pointless dimension object like polarization, interference, we study in class 11. Is it clear? Now, listen. That means we have already studied that light that helps us to see the various objects. Can I say light is a source? That means when light comes from the source, on the basis of source, we classify source into two types. One is luminous source, another one is non-luminous source. Okay. What is luminous source? What is non-luminous source? Okay. These are the source which can emit own lights. Own lights mean that is the sun, star, ball, tube light. These are the things can emit their own light. That is called luminous object. Okay. The object that does not emit own light, like chair, table, board, these are the non-luminous object. Is it clear? Now, there are two types of objects. Now, when this source, when light comes from the source and moves in a rectilinear motion or straight line, that is called ray of light. Okay, that is called ray of light. When these ray of light, as goes equidistance and equidirection, they don't intersect each other. These are called parallel rays, and parallel rays is called beam of rays. That is called beam of rays. Okay. Sometimes the beam of rays goes at a direction so that they may be made due to their decrease in their dimension. This ray is called convergent ray. Okay. Sometimes the ray moves, they don't intersect from the starting point. Here the dimension or here the diameter decreases. That is called divergent ray. Is it clear? There are three types of beam: either parallel beam, convergent beam, another one is divergent beam. Is it clear? First, the light starts from the source and moves in a straight line, that is called ray. When they goes group of ray, that is called beam, and beam may be parallel beam, may be convergent, may be divergent. Okay. When that light passes, otherwise they passes or propagate some medium. On the basis of medium, we classify there are three types of medium. One is transparent medium, another one is translucent, another one is opaque. What is transparent medium? Suppose you are backside of the door is made in glass. You can see the object. That means that medium is known as transparent medium. Water bodies also. Suppose fish in the water bodies or stones and coin that falls in the water ponds. You can see the object. These are the example of transparent medium. Okay. What is translucent? Suppose you are using your mobile phones in your room. When your mommy or others come, then you can hold a paper in the mobile phone. But the light seems to be that is the example of that is translucent. That means when the light is partially passes, that is known as translucent. Okay. Suppose I keep the mobile in the bag that cannot see, that means light cannot passes. These are the opaque things. Okay. There are three types of medium. One is transparent, translucent, another one is opaque. Is it clear till now? Okay. Now, when that light passes into three medium, one has either transparent, translucent, and opaque. Now, suppose that light strikes a surface. The ray, it is what type of ray? The ray coming towards the surface, that ray is known as incident ray. The ray that comes towards the reflecting surface, that is known as incident ray. The ray may be meet at the point. The ray meet at that point is known as point of incident. Okay. If I draw a imaginary line to the point of incident, that is known as normal. Okay. And again the light will be bounced back. The ray that moving away from the surface, that is known as reflected ray. Okay. This is incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal. Okay. Now, if you see, there may be the formation of angle, the angle between incident ray and the normal, that is known as angle of incident. The angle between reflected ray and normal is known as angle of reflection. Angle of incident denoted by I, angle of reflection denoted by R. If you measure every time, angle of incident should be equal to the angle of reflection. That is the first law, says that angle of incident is equal to angle of reflection. Second law states that if it is a plane, here incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incident all lies in this plane, all lies in same plane. That is known as law of reflection. Very, very important. You have to remember two laws of reflection. Is it clear? Listen, when light falls on an object, then it will be bounced back. The bounce back of light in a single medium, that is known as reflection. Is it clear what is reflection? Now, when light bounces back on the surface, basically surface also two types. One is regular surface, another one is irregular surface. When after the reflection light goes parallel, then may be regular surface. When after the reflection of the rays it goes different direction, that should be irregular surface or different. Okay, that is called irregular surface. Is it clear? Now, there may be two types of image from in the mirror. One is